Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Brill, and today we're going to speak with the Multimedia team, the team that creates the multimedia bits, the video and some of the infographics and all the graphics you see on the doc pages and the YouTube channel and our community channels. That content that helps you learn how ServiceNow works. And we're going to talk with Macy Douglas and Dana Haines, and I'm going to chime in myself as I'm on the multimedia team. And we're going to talk about how we make all that content to scale as quickly and efficiently and as perfect as possible for you, the customers. So Dana, tell us a little bit about your role here and all that you do to create a lot of the content we see.
Well, I help manage a vendor program where we are working with a third-party vendor to help us create videos. And then also I run a program where we are training technical writers how to design visual content for their documentation pages.
Also, Macy, I'm going to talk to you as well. But first, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role here.
Okay, my name is Macy Douglas, and I'm a manager on the multimedia team. I've been working with Dana for the last 7 years, but I've been a part of ServiceNow for almost 8 years now.
Your expertise really is in the management and the workflows, and you've got a really heavy, strong knowledge of ServiceNow. Talk a little bit about how that came about.
Since I've been with ServiceNow for almost 8 years, a lot of it has come naturally just from working on various videos on different products throughout the time of my 8 years here. I've been here since the Helsinki release. And one thing that I did here at ServiceNow was I got really interested in the development of, at the time it was the Drink Your Own Champagne campaign we did internally. And I kind of took our video asset management that was on a spreadsheet and put it onto ServiceNow. So that really also just the self-teaching, that really helped me learn a lot about the ServiceNow platform itself.
And my name is Bobby Brill, and I've been a video producer for the last 15 years. And here now at ServiceNow, I'm what we call a content producer. So we're helping to create the videos, develop the voiceover program, and help to create a visual representation of what the writers are putting down on the doc page as another learning tool to help solve customer issues so that they can use the product efficiently and effectively. So Macy, give us a walkthrough on how we're building video content, because it's not as simple as just setting up a camera and recording. It's a little bit different, correct?
It's actually the exact opposite. We don't use any kind of cameras to record anything. All of our videos are done on the product itself. We do screen demo product recordings. At least for this year, our goal is to create over 400 pieces of content, whether that's a video, an infographic, or what we call procedure videos.
400 videos, that's a Herculean feat.
So our customers really love videos. They want to see visual examples in our documentation. It's something that they're consistently asking for.
So Macy, walk us through as really the person who's helping to push the content forward and helping to develop workflows and bringing all the pieces together, those little intricacies that help us to make the best multimedia content possible.
So the multimedia team is kind of like an in-house video production team with the added benefit of we know ServiceNow. So we produce content exclusively for the product documentation site, and we also publish our content to the ServiceNow documentation YouTube channel. Our team is made up of script writers who have a more traditional, maybe they have a traditional background in writing or learning, and then we have content producers who have a traditional background in video editing, audio production, video, like live video production, animation. And then we have people on the team that are a little bit of both, which is something that Dana specializes in. She's really good at both things. So what we do is we create the videos and infographics that help explain the various products that ServiceNow offers. Those get put on the documentation pages and then, like I said, pushed out to YouTube as well. Our goal this year is to create over 400 pieces of content. So whether that be we do infographics, we do videos that are around 3 to 5 minutes that kind of explain an overview of a product or maybe show you how to get started with it. And then we also do procedure videos, which are short, less than a minute videos that demonstrate a quick task on a task page on the documentation. So it's showing you maybe 10 steps of how to configure something or set something up.
So getting that content into a video script, we have a lot of ways of doing that, but is there any tools that we're using that help us to create it faster and it's scalable and also kind of stay on tone?
I'll talk specific to procedure videos. So again, those are short 1-minute videos that demonstrate a procedure on a task page in our documentation. And typically the way those are written is it's very like create a new page. You create this, select that, submit this, and then you're done. It's very straightforward. So to get the right tone for our videos and to match a more casual, empathetic human tone for a voiceover, we're using tools like Gemini or Writer and sometimes even Copilot. We can continue to prompt it until we get a voiceover tone that matches something that we're trying to put in our video. So instead of select this new page, we might want to say, select this page so you can create your new team workspace.
One of the things that we've been doing a lot more the past couple of years is working closer with the documentation writers. But we really put them in a place of, hey, you're the expert, and can you teach me quickly? Because I'm not going to go spend hours and hours researching this and learning exactly how to do it. So if they can teach me quickly, I can put that into a script. I'm just mirroring what they're giving to me. One thing I've seen with those tools is like with Gemini or Copilot is they lean more towards like the marketing side, which we really try to avoid. And it helps a lot when we're prompting the tool to say, hey, I want this to be 90% technical and 10% friendly. And I find like that, those numbers right there, even though it sounds super skewed towards the technical, it is a sweet spot for our scripts. The AI tools has so much context as to how customers are using a product or why they even are purchasing the product to begin with. And having that little bit of background information really helps write the script.
Using Writer and Gemini tools like those really help us get the script to a point where we need it to be to create a voiceover. But honestly, Bobby, I feel like you're more the expert and you could speak more to that and how you're using Writer or Gemini or any other AI tool to create scripts from technical documentation pages.
It's fascinating when you use these tools from a video producer standpoint. And Dana, I think you'll agree with this. Well, we're always working on time. We're always working on how long is this going to take? How long does this much dialogue actually equate to in minutes on screen? And so these tools have been great for us to take something technical, which may be wordy because you're not reading it, but now you're going to hear it. And we're able to use these tools to make it concise, make it friendly. Sometimes we're having it add more friendly things at the end of the video and try it out, or things that help make the voiceover feel like a guiding voice along with giving you the answers you need, because it's a fun way to now make video now. It's new that you're creating on the fly.
Well, how do you do that? You're using a computer generated voice. How do you make that sound friendly and appealing to somebody?
It's pretty fascinating how good the tools have been. So like, I'm literally sitting in a voiceover booth with all the voiceover things to do voiceover, but now we're using AI tools to make that consistent. And once you start using these AI tools and finding the right tweaks, as we're all finding with all these AI tools, we're getting the tone we like. We're getting those inflections. We're getting not so much drama, but we're getting the really warm and fuzzy guiding tone that we like. And that really helps bring a level of consistency to the content so that when you're watching maybe a series of videos, you can feel confident that what you're hearing and what you're being told is the right answer. And one of the tools we're using, Well Said, really, we've been working with them a bit to help tweak that out and really get these sounds and renderings of our terminology and our acronyms so that it sounds, like you're having that guiding voice with you at all time. Because when we look at it from a video perspective, voiceover and music were kind of that icing on the cake. Where if it was a training video, you should be able to follow along. And the music and the voiceover was there to ensure that you were getting a high quality product. But now when we think about things like accessibility and having that guide with us, it makes it so much better to have a good voice consistently and easy to adjust later as through the process, maybe the steps change. We've got the ability to give our customers everything they need to have success with this, maybe only a 1-minute video.
You said you've been working with Well Said. We have implemented Well Said for 2 years now. What has been your favorite change with that tool? Because as we know, things are like evolving so quickly.
I think the biggest change in using Well Said, and now that we're using an AI tool, is just the speed of being able to update the copy, as it were, because our scripts are always changing. The release date is always changing. The content and the steps may change as the developers and the writers change it. We can go back in and still stay on tone and feeling by just removing lines here and there from the script and updating, that it makes it very seamless when we deliver. And that's the biggest change in using a tool like Well Said or any AI tool from when we were using, human voiceover. Because, as somebody who's done voiceover, you do it in the morning, it sounds different than it does in the afternoon. And if you're sick, there are those subtle tweaks that can slow down production. And when we're trying our best to get as much useful information out to the customer as quickly as possible, we need that consistency and we need that speed.
I remember recording voiceover with Macy. I remember when we would sit in the room, there would be 3 of us. One was the person that was actually doing the dialogue. And then we had one person that was in charge of recording. And then the other person that would watch the script and make sure the words were being said correctly. And I remember one time, my stomach was just growling and we had to re-record stuff over and over. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
And that's, if I hit my mic, oh man, we screwed it up. We've got to go all the way back again. And, you're getting in that flow of doing things that it can be difficult. And within the department, we're all working together. We can reach out to each other. We have our tools that we can use and we can change things on the fly. But like many production houses, you're working with one of our vendors and helping to guide and empower some of our vendors to use the tools we're using to then stay on brand and stay consistent and deliver additional product. Can you walk us through how that has worked, not only just with the AI tools, but in general, how that's changed in the last few years as we've developed a better relationship and workflow with our vendors?
Well, when we're working with the vendor, it's very interesting in these dynamics that we have. I mean, the 3 of us work together. We're a team. We can reach out. And actually working with the vendor is very, very similar. They are truly an extension of our team. We meet Chris, another guy on our team. We meet with the vendor once a week and we just see where we're at. And I mean, truly, I don't like to use the word, it's like family, but it really is.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And it really helps the dynamic. And we talk about workflow. So we have a script ready, we have a demo ready, and we're ready to pass it off to them. And I really think one of the biggest changes we've had in the past couple of years in working with them is they're able to look at a first cut that is done from one of their editors and say, oh, no, this isn't right. I just know they're not going to like this. They're not going to approve it. And that has helped tremendously. So because we have that closer relationship, they know what we want and they're able to be like, nope, change that. So they use the same programs we use and they use the same tools. So inside of the program, for instance, we use Adobe Premiere Pro and we heavily rely on libraries. So our internal video editors have developed a big library of MOGRTs and we share that with the video vendors and they just take those and run. And that has helped. Our videos have this look and their videos would be over here, and it really just brings it together. So the more we develop internally and get our processes tight, the more it helps them.
Yeah, it's a lot of content to produce, and it's a Herculean feat to try to do this. But I'm really happy with the team that we have and the tools that we are using and are implementing to help us get to that 400 goal.
And Bobby and Macy, I think one of the things our team does really well is one, working together, but then also testing new tools and trying new things, because I don't think what we do right now is going to be the same 6 months from now. It is like ever changing.
So there you go. There's a quick little peek into how all of this content is made and really how it's evolving daily, and how the team is not only creating the best content, but bringing in some of those best tools to utilize AI at its best.